I can hide it for now. Why don't I just do that real quick?
Or excitement.
Not the first.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just getting more clever about it, evidently.
All right, it's private, so it shouldn't be on the website while I try and.
What about current light? You just
It's
did that.
just that one.
All right, we're back after some technical difficulties. So where are we? We were at planning. We're talking all about planning. Planning went out the window. Planning contractual. Publishing costs, got it. Planning legal, good question. We did not have any planning board dollars last year. Do you think we're gonna have any?
A revenue?
No. So we're gonna have any need for legal for the
Oh.
planning board. Guy doesn't come to site plan review stuff. We haven't needed any in the last.
No, and there's no,
I'm surprised that did we move it? Is it under code or something? I'm
We
surprised we
zeroed-
don't have something.
We chose to zero it out because there was nothing pending. All the big project stuff was
Yeah.
done.
and I don't know if there's only one other significant thing that would happen, but I don't think there's anything. Personal, I don't think there's anything that works for that. And it might be even smaller, I don't know, big time to speak. Right, for King Street.
Let's just be safe. Let's put 5,000 in there.
Okay.
Tag it just in case. Let's see, storm drainage contractual. This looks like we have. Drainage work with MRB built in. Refuse and garbage, that should be the same, right?
Yeah, and I'll have confirmation of that at the end of this week.
Beautification grant is only if we get it. Shade trees. That's
Stay the same. We're up for, but that's another one that you can flag if it needs to go down. It's been 2 years now. We just haven't been getting the applications. So I'd like to keep it the same and keep trying to push it out, but if we leave it the same and flag it for review. Come back, that's fine.
GTC there, yeah.
It's an old line, it was misnumbered, but I
Spreadsheet. When we combine them.
didn't want to lose the historical data, so.
Landfill brush, found a cheaper vendor, I like that, 12,000. And then state retirement, all these retirement lines are all payroll based. If there was a change of payroll changes. Health insurance is also filled in here. Using current year rates, and what did you do for a calculated increase in January?
The calculated increase for January is so it's the recognition that we actually got an increase in January. So it's the actual, I can't.
So you use the same number, project forward.
And then I use the same number project until January, and then January of 2026, I increased by 7%. So I've got actual from this, okay,
But January of 26, you're using 7.
yeah, I believe, let me double check that. Yes. Do you want it to be 10?
What was it this year? 10?
7?
Oh, 7.
Mhm. We projected a 7% increase, and the reason why you're seeing a difference largely is because it is kind of hard to predict who's going to come in and take full advantage of family medical insurance versus a $500 a month payout. And we see some changes in both directions, but we did project 7% last year, and pretty close to target. But that's up to you, 'cause
Nope, I'm good with that. Takes us to. No more lease on the fire truck. Paid off, that's nice. Lease principal for the code car. Lease on the Tahoes, and there's interest on the Tahoes. And that brings us to DPW equipment reserve.
This is, yeah, so this is going up a little bit. This is, in talking with Dusty and Clint. Two things kind of going on. One is prices just always going up as they do. The other is the vehicle replacement schedule that we have, and then the budget to reserves to make that all work is very much just kind of covering just those vehicles and not leaving much for the actual what happens if something breaks and we can actually use the reserves for a rainy day sort of situation. So the thought was to bump that by 5,000 and start building a little bit of a cushion in there beyond just the regular replacement schedule that we have.
Okay. DPW building is not changed, just fire apparatus, that's from the fire budget, yeah.
Yeah, I'd incorrectly put the 25,000 from the reserve. The repair costs.
For some reason, I had it, in my head it was going up to 225, but that, we only have 200 in the fire budget.
Correct.
Firehouse repair. It's also police vehicle reserve, looks like it's the same. Police equipment reserve is a little bit higher. Village building reserve. It's 10 last year, it's 10 this year.
If we do the reno for the police station, where would that go?
Well, it depends. That's a good question. It depends if it's the $40,000 local contractor version. Then we would use the village building reserve. If it's the $140,000 MRV version. Then we need to find some money somewhere.
Big sale.
I've told them
To simmer down.
the local contractor.
That's right.
But there's 84 with the 10 is 94, the roof is gonna be 10.
Yeah.
So we could spend comfortably 50 or 60 out of there. Not worry me, we might need to bump that contribution up a little bit next year,
Yeah,
just to shore up that account some.
I think 50 would be a good number.
50?
Spend on.
Oh, I like,
Yeah.
you fund it 50,000 instead of 10.
I don't know,
I'm like,
to spend
whoa.
on the reno.
Okay.
I had a question about EMS equipment.
Wait, or do you want to fund building reserve?
Yeah, 10,000.
Oh, 10.
Same
okay.
as last year.
Same, okay.
So EMS equipment, and then we've broken out scuba. Do we need to break it out? And if so, why?
We had taken that out of this budget. In the last one, I believe. Our last EMS budget, I think it wasn't there. Is that wrong, Jess?
Last year.
I don't think.
In the
It
most
was a new
recent
line
budget.
that was created,
We
beginning
created,
24 and 20, beginning next year, because it was. He invented it last budget cycle.
Right.
It was for 25.
but I thought we didn't fund it in our last meetings this
That
fall.
you didn't fund it for
In the fall.
26, 27.
In our last, yeah, this,
Let me look.
I believe. If it is there, I'm happy to leave it there. This is one of those things that is sort of always shifting between fire and EMS, and if EMS can kind of pay its fair share, I think that's an everyone wins situation. And obviously, I'd rather,
For some
He
reason,
was
I thought we
closest as
did
possible
fund
to
it
that.
last year, like
We
$1,500
just
bucks.
gotta get there. Yeah,
yeah, it's possible. If it's in there, I'd like to keep it just so we can stick with what we passed then as much as possible. I mean, stick to our November. Work with the towns, but it's not you know, not essential.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, do you wanna move on? I'm just, sorry, the laptop is different land than where I usually go, so I can't put my fingers on it quite as quickly.
I think for now, let's leave it and circle back.
Oh, wait, there it is. Sorry. I just needed the moment. Okay, total expenditures, fire budget. That's just. Okay, circle back, go back, circle back.
It's an odd number, 16. 15.
It was specific equipment.
Yeah, it was an odd number because it was kept as low as possible, you know, he calculated each individual item. There's very little rounding there.
All right, fire radios from the fire budget, EMS capital reserve also from the fire budget. This vehicle we bumped in the fire and the EMS budget, bump that up a little bit. Because ambulances are expensive. EMS maintenance agreements, EMS communication. I guess we're getting radios. That's why that communication line is.
Yes,
What's in the fire EMS budget?
yes, and this is another one that is probably gonna have to keep going up, where Joel is constantly on eBay getting refurbished radios that don't work. It's one of these things that is. It occupies his time in a way that's completely unacceptable, so. Yes,
Okay. Still trying to find.
I found it, it's actually in this trustees budget line. Our budget, our trustees site website, reserves. Was funded, no. Before this 24-25. Damn it, it's not the right budget year. All right, never mind, still fine. 25-26.
the problem with looking at paper is I don't have a
25-26.
dynamic total.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
25-26, do not touch. Getting there.
Oh.
It was funded $2,000 in
Oh,
25-26. It
Okay.
was funded correctly, 1,600, as you see. This year, it was funded 2,000 for 25-26, so I should put that in there. Right, Merton?
2000, yeah.
I'll put that in there, it's 2,000.
What I have here is 1,600.
1600 for the scuba line.
I see 2,000 in the scuba line.
Do you see 2,000
I see
immediately under
200
it?
in the scuba line. So now it says 200.
Still don't have insurance numbers in here. That's concerning.
Oh, that's why. So low.
1,600.
And we're gonna reevaluate that police line with chief.
Yep.
Mhm.
Insurance numbers, police line with Chief Nelson, and that's it? I mean, and then I have another.
Those are the big ones, though.
The insurance number we just got, I just have to make sure it fits out, so that it's a 20-minute calculation.
I just mean those are the impactful, right?
Right.
There were a couple other notes you had, but they
Oh,
weren't like major in terms of their
I see, yeah.
financial impact.
Right, the insurance.
The going back to the revenue line, the intra-fund transfer year to date, 72,249 is through what month? Is that through December?
It's through December. And that's, so that's just a multiple of 2. It's through December. I don't know if I don't know if the trend is equates that way, or if you see more. Like, I didn't look at there's a monthly reality, right, like mulch. If,
There is a slight,
right,
I mean, there's definitely peak times in the summer and there's more calls for sure. I think we're safe though, keeping it there if you're thinking of lowering it.
Or
Oh, okay. My expectation is that that should go up with the switch in billing company. Right, that's one of the primary justifications there, is that we have better view and better visibility into more effective billing practices.
before unaudited from last year.
You say 180.
184 is the unaudited position. Just over, I'm just triple checking them. But that's November, December. Balance.
That's 200 in here. Oh, that's two.
Yeah, that is through December. But maybe not actually through November. It's through November, which is why I multiplied by 2. December is not in that number. How important is, I mean, I have some newer additions from MedX since December. Is that useful to have? For that? January bank statements are sitting on my desk taunting me for reconciliation.
Yeah.
Didn't look before I ran out of batteries. Jess, did you put the updated assessments in that sheet?
The updated assessments, I'm sorry, what are you guys saying?
It's-
The property
Yeah,
assessment,
yeah.
I don't have that number.
Oh, okay. Do you remember how we went through that last year, how to make that dynamic, so it would do that in that sheet? Sorry, I should have looked, but I just ran out of batteries. Or is that separate? Did that make sense?
I have the calculators there, but I have not adjusted them to make sure that the cells will still make sense. But I have the same formula, so I can figure it out. I remember walking through it with you, and I wrote the formulas in the cells, so I can
Okay,
duplicate it, but I
as long as
haven't.
it's all there, that's good.
But I haven't done that yet. It still says, 24, 25 over 23, 24. I haven't.
Okay, yeah,
So, it's gonna be close. Yeah, it's not as. Not as,
that's easy as we thought.
easy as we thought. There is some, so I need to know if that unencumbered, I'll email Dwayne tomorrow. I need to know if that unencumbered balance includes what's owed to general.
So you're gonna ask the question that I was gonna ask. Okay. And I'm correct, Gordon, that you populate the assessment value, that's not something I got.
I give it to you.
Or I thought, we could just put it. In a cell near there.
So I think we should plan on next Wednesday. Having all of these fields filled in, insurance numbers. After talking to chief, some of the questions we had, and then we'll be able to. Decide what we wanna tinker with. As far as tax rate. Whether we can reduce it or not.
Okay.
I enjoyed that framing, Gordon. Thank you. Whether we can reduce it or not.
Well, I mean, I was looking at this the other day, we've kept the rate flat since 2019.
Well, and last year, I mean, last year, that was our hope, was that we'd come into this year and be able to do that when the higher assessments hit.
And I think there's a chance we can. But it's not gonna be a massive reduction. It's that ambulance line.
It is that.
All right, anything else on general for tonight?
Yeah.
Questions, concerns?
There was a bill that was signed and the bill that was proposed about property taxes. One of them is an opt-in option for tax relief if your home is destroyed by a natural disaster. That you have to opt into, but it's retroactive back to 2020. So the idea would be that you're not paying property taxes if your home is unlivable. It's not mandatory, but it's an option for localities. And then there was a bill introduced recently that would waive the mortgage tax for first-time home buyers. So that's still in committee, but that's some source of revenue.
Right.
What is, I hate that I always forget this every year. What is the lead time for local law public hearing?
For the local law public hearing, is it not 5 days?
5 days?
Yeah. Yeah, when do we want to put do you want it to be I believe last year we did the 2nd of March.
We have to introduce it. So we don't have it ready to introduce, so we can introduce it Wednesday.
Wait, now I'm confused. I'm actually was thinking about the budget hearing and you're talking about the local law to
Tax.
side.
So we can introduce it on Wednesday. We'd have to schedule a public hearing for. I guess we have to have that second meeting in March, do it the 24th. Which is fine.
Okay. And do you also want to make the budget hearing that time too?
If we need, no, you have to have a budget hearing at
Um,
our
On the end and the organization?
organization meeting.
Why did I think we did it before? Because what if people? What if it prevents you from adopting it because they make a consideration? It doesn't. All right. Okay.
Okay, anything else budget related? Sufficiently spreadsheeted out. Let's see. Old business, we just have state of the village agenda. Jessica's just gonna print these. for Saturday. What are these? Oh, just a sheet for folks. That sounds good.
Did you want to call out any topics on there?
I don't even know.
No? Okay.
Yeah. It almost feels like overshooting the mark if it's gonna be more conversation.
Is it a critter?
No, it's not. For a hot second, I thought it was Truman, but Truman isn't.
That has a tape.
So if we can get a couple items into the PowerPoint this week.
Yes,
Just
thanks for that, by the way.
real short.
Yeah.
Really reminders for us than anything. Talk about the two, we'll talk a little bit about Camp Barton, we'll talk a little bit about. Fire and EMS building, we'll talk a little bit about sidewalk. Do. Town hall style Q&A. Should be plenty.
I still haven't gotten an official word about Camp Barton, by the way.
Yeah, I see our text Friday, yes, all right. Okay. Do we have need of an executive session? Good. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, second, third.
Favor.